The Webb City School District gets ready for the school year with a training session. Plus, an area healthcare provider introduces an innovative approach to outpatient care they say makes for better patient experience. And
the United States is facing a shortage in school bus drivers. I'm Fernanda Silva, and I spoke with local school districts to understand how this is impacting the 4 states area.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
The 4-state area and much of the country is dealing with a shortage of school bus drivers. This is KOAM News at 6. I'm Dow Quick. As the school year approaches, local officials are concerned about unexpected but not unfamiliar situations. KOAM's Fernanda Silva has the story.
Jared Richmond is the director of transportation at the Carl Junction School District. But next week, when the new semester starts, he will also take on another role.
The first day, I will probably be driving a bus. Our mechanics can both drive, so we do our best to get as many routes as we can get out there.
The reason for that? There are not enough school bus drivers. Just a couple of days from the beginning of the school year, Carl Junction schools were able to fill all the seats for full-time bus drivers. But their concern is that it's been almost a year since they last had an application for a substitute position. Jamie Guerrero is one of the new hires of the district.
It was very quick. I applied. They called me the next day. I came in the day after that.
But this is not her first time in working in a school bus, which makes the process easier.
Just because you hire somebody today doesn't mean they can start today, because obviously most people don't ever have a CDL before they apply with us, and that could be, it's a minimum of 2 weeks, if not 30 to 60 days to get your CDL license from start to finish.
Pittsburgh schools also share the concern. They also have a hard time hiring for substitute positions.
We have times where for example, maybe a bus driver's sick or has an appointment and they're able to drive.
The solution for that is encouraging other schools professionals to get behind the wheels.
Times where teachers are, for example, finished with their class day and they may be going to an activity anyway, or a coach. We can use those as a bus driver to and from that location if they're going. And it also gives them the opportunity to maybe have a little bit more spending money.
Fernanda Silva, KOAM News.
And the local school districts are not alone. According to USA Today, a survey conducted by Hop Skip Drive shows that 92% of education and transportation leaders report their operations are constrained by the driver shortages. Both Carl Junction and Pittsburgh school districts are taking applications for substitute bus drivers. They also support the chosen candidates with paid training. For more information, go to our website, KOAMnewsnow.com. New and returning Webb City teachers and faculty returned to the classroom today for some back-to-school training. Today, teachers and faculty were briefed on new safety strategies and school policies. School officials say this is an annual event that occurs to make sure teachers, faculty, and staff members are prepared for the new year.
One of our goals going into this school year is building community, not only in our classrooms, in our schools, in our school district, and in the community as a whole. Trying to promote positivity and just focus on being a positive place for kids to come learn.
Webb City kicks off the school year on Monday. One of these final days of summer vacation, beautiful weather. Let's check in with meteorologist Sam Lane.
Yeah, it feels more like fall out there, just in time for school to start. But don't worry, summer's not going to give up yet. We have more warm weather on the way. But right now, let's enjoy the nice temperatures. This morning, it was very, very pleasant in the upper 50s to lower 60s across the entire area. A beautiful morning to start the day. And then this afternoon, temperatures only rose into the upper 70s and lower 80s across the area, way below normal for this time of year, but we'll take it. This evening, we're going to see mostly fair skies with temperatures dropping through the 70s all the way down to about 63 by tomorrow morning. And looking down the lane, we have another cool night ahead with a warmer Thursday and a pretty hot weekend shaping up. And of course, that means the drought's going to continue as well. And I'll have all the details on that in just a little while.
We'll see you soon. The city of Fort Scott held a business expo today at the community college. Local businesses displayed the services they offer, promoted some job openings. The expo also gave the community college a chance to show support for its students.
We do the Business Expo really so we can show the students the kind of support that they would have from our local community as they're going to school here. We do have a lot of students that are not originally from Bourbon County or even from one of our surrounding areas.
That expo ran from 8 to 11:30 this morning. Mercy is partnering with Concert Health to provide more accessible behavioral health treatment. KOAM's Amber Jenkins talked with a nurse practitioner about how the partnership is impacting our community.
To combat the lack of mental health access in the community, Mercy is collaborating with Concert Health to build a model for individuals to receive the care they need while giving primary care providers an avenue to expand services.
Because patients, they've often waited months or years before they seek treatment because there's been a stigma, and when they finally seek treatment, they can't wait another several months or a year to seek treatment. They need some help now, and so we've started prescribing straight out of family medicine to help these patients.
Allowing nurse practitioners and other advanced practice providers to prescribe behavioral health treatment cuts back on wait times and frees up appointments. Thanks to the collaborative care model, Mercy onboard times are shorter.
And usually we get them onboarded within 24 to 48 hours, which is unheard of in the behavioral health field. Again, it takes months and sometimes years to get into counseling.
With easier access, shorter wait times, and faster onboarding, finding quality care for behavioral health can happen at home.
A large amount of patients are getting therapy where they wouldn't have gotten therapy before, simply because if they have a busy life and they don't have time to go outside and seek services, but they can take a phone call at home, or maybe they have a lot of children and they don't have anyone to provide babysitting services for them, but they can just step into the other room and receive a phone call and get therapy.
There's always been stigma around mental health and getting treatment for it, but by adding accessibility for the treatment through already established relationships, it makes the stigma weigh a little lighter.
Number one, people are comfortable with their primary care provider, and they often will be scared to move to see someone that they haven't seen before. They already have a relationship with their primary care. They trust them, they know us, we know them, and so they are more open to asking for help.
Reporting in Joplin, Amber Jenkins, KOAM News.
Mercy plans to implement the collaborative care model in Arkansas and Oklahoma by the end of this year. Coming up, a plan to return all items seized during a police raid of the Marion Record newspaper office as the fallout from that raid continues. Plus, the Webb City Cardinals look to improve on last year's efforts on the softball field. John's going to have details.
Draw you in at Toyota's places.
The Kansas Bureau of Investigation is returning all items seized during this police raid of the Marion Record newspaper office. In a news release today, the KBI said it's taken over the investigation into whether an employee of the newspaper committed any crimes while gathering information. But the KBI says its investigation will proceed without examining the confiscated material. The Marion County Attorney's Office said it's determined there was not sufficient evidence of wrongdoing to justify the police search of the newspaper office. The newspaper contends Friday's police raid was illegal. Some supporters of the newspaper worry the search could have a chilling impact on a news outlet's ability to protect sources and could therefore hinder investigative reporting. The executive director of the Kansas Press Association says the raid could ultimately hurt the public.
I know that people think, oh gosh, a journalist and can roll their eyes at this situation, but this is not a Republican Democrat issue. This is if you value limiting government overreach and the public's right to know and transparency, you should be behind this.
I can guarantee you that this raid has already prevented scores of news stories from getting out to the public because they figure if a small town in Kansas can't keep its confidential sources from the police who raid it, what's to protect any news outlet?
Despite the raid, the Record is still publishing and says it's even received calls from more subscribers after gaining national attention. A little later, soccer heads to Pitt State. John's going to have more on the program's kickoff coming up in sports.
And we're going to kick off the weekend with some hot temperatures, and of course we'll have all the details and that in your forecast when we come back. Boy, what a few gorgeous days we have had across the 4 states with cool mornings and warm afternoons, no 100-degree heat. But unfortunately, summer's not going to give up the ghost yet. We have a beautiful sky shot there this morning in Indigo Sky Casino and Resort just outside of Seneca, Missouri. Bright blue skies all day long, hardly a cloud in the sky anywhere, and that's going to continue for the next several days. And as a result, we're going to start to see the temperatures increase as well. This afternoon, we made it up to 83, which was still below the normal of 90. And check out the low, 58 degrees this morning, 10 degrees away, well, from the average, and pretty close to that record low, 49. And of course, we're way behind on the rainfall for the year. Radar right now is all clear, pretty much across the entire central portion of the United States, but we are enjoying some nice temperatures. 82 in Stockton, 82 in Carthage, 79 still in Monette as well as Cassville. A little bit warmer out to the west where it's 86 right now in Sedan, and that's kind of a harbinger of things to come as we go over the next couple of days. But look at these dew points, generally in the 50s and 60s, and so on our dew point scale, that pretty much puts it in the not bad category, and that's allowing the temperatures to really drop at night and giving us these pleasant mornings. 82 right now in Joplin, south wind at 8, 60 on the dew point, the pressure is currently falling. Rainfall, no falling out of the sky right now for the next 36 hours. Rain chances are going to be pretty close to zero. We do have a storm system, but it's way up to the north and southern Canada, and it's going to stay there. Instead, we're going to see this ridge of high pressure build into our region from the west over the weekend, and that means the hot air is going to return and also the muggy air as well. Our only chance of precipitation may come at the end of next week as this high pressure starts to dissipate just a little bit, but in the meantime, a big dome of high pressure going to sit up over the central United States, giving everyone a taste of summer again. Temperatures tomorrow morning are going to be in the 60s across the area with westerly winds, and then tomorrow a little bit warmer, closer to normal, upper 80s to lower 90s with the north wind, and then we get a little bit cooler tomorrow night as we see temperatures dropping down once again into the lower 60s and maybe some upper 50s up towards the north. And then on Friday afternoon, we're going to see temperatures closer to normal, generally around upper 80s, lower 90s. And then Saturday morning, milder with temperatures in the mid to upper 60s and even some lower 70s. And over the next 7 days, the heat builds right on through the weekend, getting close to 100 by Sunday. And then we cool it off just a little bit as we go towards the first part of next week. A better chance of showers and storms at the tail end of next week, but only a 20 to 30% chance at this point. We're going to have to watch the tropics a little bit as we're getting into hurricane season, and maybe a little bit of shower activity will be sent our way from some of that activity, but that's a pipe dream at this point.
Double-edged sword. Obviously, you don't want hurricanes on the Gulf Coast, but you need the rain up in the Midwest.
Exactly. So it's a catch-22. Yep.
Thanks, Sam. Still ahead, Webb City softball begins preparations for the 2023 season, and Pitt State announces a new member of its athletic program. John Dales has those stories and more coming up.
Has earned the
Today is an historic day for Pittsburgh State University. They announced that for the first time in 32 years, its athletic program is expanding to include a new varsity team.
Officially, we'd like to announce that as part of our sports program at Pittsburgh State, part of Guerrilla Athletics, that we will field a competitive women's soccer team in the fall of 2024, which is a long...
Those are the words that start it all. A women's soccer program is coming to Pittsburgh State. And that is something that those around the university have been asking for.
Last year I met with about 700 students, and these were in focus group conversations. And the students almost in every session brought up, could we have soccer? Like, when can we start soccer at Pitt State?
One of the points of emphasis mentioned by athletic director Jim Johnson is fielding a team that lives up to Pitt State's standard, competing for championships right away.
The president and the athletic director talk about, we're going to be competitive from day one. That's music to the heart for a commissioner. As you know, we have a really strong conference in women's soccer, so the competition will be tough. But I loved what I heard this morning about from day one trying to be competitive in the conference, in the region, and competing for national titles.
And for now, Pitt State Athletics says they're focused on making a coaching search this winter and building a stadium where the land is currently set up for intramural soccer, located to the east of the baseball field at the Gene Bicknell Sports Complex. We turn our direction to high school sports now and softball, which is another season quickly approaching in Missouri. This afternoon, that brings us to Webb City High School, where the Cardinals are coming off a trip to the district semifinals last year. Webb City brings back 4 seniors this season after not having any seniors for the 2022 season. Cardinals went 17-19 last year. Webb City opens their year against Quapaw and McDonald County. So once again, they head into the fall with another young group.
I feel like this season we have a really bright future, and we all have been working super hard in practice and giving most 100% effort and the most that we can do. We have talked about our goals, and we know what we want to achieve this season.
We just talked about our team goals and some individual goals, and the girls are ready to set the bar high, set some really high expectations for themselves personally and also as a team.
I think we come together well as a team. We cheer on each other, we pick each other up, and after, let's say, somebody makes an error, we're there for each other. Hey, you're good, it's all good, you got it.
And in pro sports, good news for Chiefs fans. Wide receiver Justin Ross returns to practice this afternoon. Appeared to be a full participant. He was carted off the field yesterday with a leg or hamstring injury, according to head coach Andy Reid. Second-year wideout from Clemson missed all of last season with a foot injury. Back to Pitt State soccer. Excuse me. Very exciting news. A really historic day for the program and for the university.
I think a lot of people would be surprised to hear that Pitt State hadn't previously had a soccer program. Of course, it's worldwide popular sport, and more so here in the States, and it's great to see it getting the support of the university and the students.
Definitely.
We'll be right back.
For a family member,
a 4-state hero.
Here's a look at what's coming up on KOAM News at 9 on Fox 14 tonight. The McDonald County Chamber hosts a career fair for all those Tyson workers soon to be out of a job, and there are a lot of them. Plus, a new internet service provider is moving into Nevada, Missouri, and we're going to have some tips to reduce back-to-school stress for kids. Those stories and a lot more is coming up tonight. KOAM News at 9 on Fox 14. Hey, to be the first to see breaking news, weather, and sports, why not download the KOAM News app? You can do it right now. It's very simple to do. Many of you have the weather app. This takes it a step further. You'll be getting news updates sent straight to your phone, any place, anytime. It's available free of charge in the Apple App Store and the Google Play Store. All you have to do is search for KOAM News app. It's that simple. Hey, the school year in Columbus, Kansas officially kicks off with an annual tradition. Look at that.
I thought that was snow.
It would be a lot of snow if it was snow, but it is not snow. You can call it a yearly prank of sorts, but everyone's kind of in on it. Some of the seniors at the high school leave the fountain before the front entrance of the courthouse filled with bubbles. Yeah, it'd be kind of fun to kick around in if you're a kid, or just look at or put on TV if you're a local TV station. Millions of bubbles escaped the fountain by our calculation. It happened for some time, but city officials say it's all good, clean fun.
Yeah, clean.
Clean being the operative word there, yes.
All right. We have some nice temperatures to talk about tonight with lows down in the 50s and 60s, and then we head towards summer as we head towards the weekend, chance of storms late next week. And looking at the 8 to 14 day forecast, it looks like it's going to be above normal on temperatures, and then as we look at precipitation, it's going to be dry. So hopefully we can get some rain in here soon.
Yeah, we're going to need it.
Yep.
We have this drought for some time now.
Yep.
Final sports note.
Pitt State women's soccer, they don't have a stadium to play their games at yet, don't have a coach, and don't have any players. But the message still was MIAA and rest of the country, watch out, because when Pitt State adds a new team, they're here to win.
Build it, and they will come. Thanks for joining us. We'll see you right back here for KOAM News at 10. Let's make it a great evening.
Closed captioning